We are going to talk about the trade routes that were already in place during the medieval period, and you have a little bit of work to do as you're taking notes. So, you're going to start with the Silk Road. You've heard that 1,000 times by now, and you are going to draw the road in red on your maps. You do not have to make it perfect, but do the best that you can. Now, here's the items at the bottom that you absolutely need to know. There's way more on this map than these few items, so don't write everything you see on the map itself. Move to the bottom, and those are the things that you do need to know where people could pick things up. Okay, so for instance, the only thing you need to know in India is that's where you could go to get sugar, spices, and textiles. You don't need to know anything else like jasmine and sandalwood and oil and chilies. You don't need to know any of that stuff. Okay, so don't look at the trade goods on the map. Look at the trade goods that I typed out for you at the bottom. So freeze the video and do what the slide tells you to do. So on this page, you guys have already done this too. We're going to reiterate the idea of that trans-Saharan trade route in northern Africa. And remember, that would have been the way that people got to Ghana, then Mali, then Songhai. Timbuktu is the major trading city that they would have gone to, where the camel meets the canoe. You're going to draw those routes in green. And again, it does not have to be perfect. You also need to label the fact that this is where gold and salt was traded, and Islam. So that idea of this religion was traded along the trans-Saharan path. All of that's going to be in green, or at least to the best of your ability to make it green. This one is the one that blows most people's minds. You do not have to have this exact. I just want you to see all the places that were already trading with one another in the medieval period, as early as 500, the year 500. So it's not like we were an isolated bunch of people all over the map not knowing about each other anymore. We're really aware of other people. So do the best that you can with this one. This is maritime now. Maritime simply means anything related to the sea. So you got some of the same goods that are coming out of the same places that you've already done on your map, but now this is on the water and not the land. That's why it's different. And really the only thing that you need to know as far as the goods is spices coming out of India and paper coming out of China. So you'll write that, the trading routes, and you'll write those two goods in blue. And then there is this weird little path that never really got a name. It is the trading path that connects the Black Sea to the Baltic Sea. And we've talked about this before. That's where the people came out of Russia and they met people from the Byzantine and told them to come to Constantinople with them. And then the Russian people fell in love with the Byzantine culture and their religion and everything else. So, but the path was never named. The big thing that is traded on that path, and I believe we've already talked about this, is amber. So all you have to do with this one, super simple, is make an orange line connecting the Baltic Sea and the Black Sea, and on that line you're going to write the word amber. Okay, so let me show you why people like amber. It's beautiful for one thing. It is actually fossilized tree sap. And the Baltic Sea is super cold. So along the time period of disruption where we had a lot of movement in the earth for earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, a lot of trees were knocked into the Baltic Sea, and the freezing water fossilized amber or tree sap. And so if you really want to go get some real honest to goodness amber, that's one of the best places in the world to go get it, in the Baltic Sea, but it's cold. Now, some pieces of amber are worth more than others. If you can find one that looks like this with a insect intact inside of it, that's worth a whole lot of money. It's also supposed to be super lucky. To me, it's just kind of gross, but there you go. All right, so draw that line. Hopefully you have now 4 different trading paths. One of them is on the water. Okay, so do the best that you can. And again, if you don't have the exact colors that I asked for, find some 4 different colors if at all possible. Draw a different design for all 4. Do something to delineate one path from another so that when you're in your head trying to remember what was what, that hopefully is going to help you. But use color if you can at all, because color helps you remember, right? Okay. Next thing we're going to do is medieval China and Japan. So put the maps to the side and we will come back to them later.